Hi guys, it's me and it's me, Scarlett, and I bring my boyfriend Darius here. Here's a admit the wrongdoings for what we've done.
Yeah, I think it's time for me to start with me about what I had did back in the past, back in 2020, along with this year. It's time to re-admit my wrongdoings from those type of the past. For what I did over the past years was wrong, and along with this year, what I did. Well, started off back in 2020 when the time being I took down Josh in the past by going into a killing spree that time. Although he is no better for the things for the way what he has done. The time I used to make killing videos out of Josh back in 2020 of December, and until I got criticized and got confronted it at first for what I did, until time beings had happened, because Josh created me into something that I'm not until it happened. And and then got into this mess that time. And my second wrongdoing for what happened back there and during in December 2020, that the time that I got involved in a situation between Anga and Norvell on his Star Soraya accounts, that Anga had his years. The time when Anga Dafa called Kelly the FA word, which was homophobic to bisexuals and things. And the third admitting wrongdoings about what happened at the time that well the time about what happened in 2021 was a lot. Back in February 2021, I hurt Nikki Sparkles' feelings because the time that Anga played with my mind on his Star Soraya accounts that was very hard to be off of that time. And because when he took over my mind somehow, and it was true that I hurt Nikki Sparkles' feelings back then, but not less but weeks later that Nikki Sparkles and I worked things out. But then I start with then it was time to start with March 2021 of my utter wrongdoings. What I did, I gave Matthew the Epic Blue Animator 2006 a hard time, and got a hate base for what I did, and then left YouTube for a month before I came back. But then to start with my other wrongdoings back in May 2021, that I was one-sided with Josh Angadeffa, because Angadeffa was playing with my mind back then after he cheated on Irene in the past with Kelly that time. And I was one-sided with him back then. And things was hard back then. And my another wrongdoings is from June 2021. After I returned at the time, well, the other wrongdoing about what I did is that I hurt Michael Boyers' feelings by calling him the Kiko terms, and which was overused and overrated that time for what I said, because he was trying to save me from that Soraya relationship that time years back. Although that couple is dead and Michael Boyer is long gone for what he has done. And then to start with my other wrongdoings from what happened in late 2021 of October and November, Electrify and I had a fight that time, and and had a bit of a disagreement over about online weddings, why online weddings are overrated those days, and why things are starting to change, why online dating, well, online wedding is completely getting out of control that time, why it's bad. But then I didn't listen to him and then committed a mistake I made. Then in November 2021, I didn't apologize to him, and because I wasn't ready. And then at the time being had a bit of an altercation and fight that I happened, and for what I did that time. And then at the time being, during in that time being, the time beings in late 2021 of my other wrongdoings that happened in November is that I got a hate base for being jealous of SB and Soraya couple when I was manipulated by Anga, because Anga Datha was played with my mind on his Star Soraya accounts and took over my mind somehow. And my other wrongdoing from December 2021 for what happened back then when I was 18 at the time, that 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 I bullied SB Electrify back then, that time. And I was starting to feel bad for myself for what happened. And then during in December 2021, while I was being manipulated by Angadafa, my other wrongdoings I am admitting is that got into a killing spree against the innocent users who I cared about, such as Lahar, AJ, known, and also Matthew, late foolish model 01, although he's no better at the time for what he has done. But also to Kawaii Wendy, the Escastria girl YT, who I have known since 2021. And and gone into killing sprees at that time in the past, but not less I stopped it at the time for weeks. And then January 2022, I was also in the killing spree that time because of Anga's manipulation that he took over on my mind that time. And to the part of what happened that time in the past, about what happened, that will always haunt me forever for what I did, what happened. And and to the part that I refuse to accept the fact that Kelly was bad news back then, before things was resolved with Kelly. And I admitted that Kelly wasn't as good back then, but not was Kelly returned on YouTube that time back in March 2022. And we'll start with February 2022 at the time being of what happened. I also attacked Freddie, AJ, and mostly others that time over about disliking Kelly before the time things got resolved at the time. Then March 2022 was, oh god, that was even very harder if I expected that to see. That the time being that I let everyone else down at the time. But then I would like to start with my other wrongdoings for what happened. I also take the dead topic users in the past and back in 2022, 2023, that time. The dead topics who I have taken down in the past, who was meant to be forgotten and even long gone for what they did, is Angadafa, 63 Josh K, and Stephen Nguyen. The reason why I took Stephen Nguyen, Angadafa, and Josh way too seriously, because Josh, Angadafa, and Stephen Nguyen broke Irene's heart and by cheating on her with minors that time who are underage of the age consent, who might be at age of teens, or even as kids back then, which is that's is the same thing as this. But also to the part of what I did that time, that I took Stephen Nguyen and Engadefo way too seriously, was too much back in 2023 along with 2022. The reason why I took them way too seriously, like I was saying before, they broke Irene's heart by cheating on her with minors
Yeah,
that time.
we're
and
deeply sorry, guys, for what
and
we did.
and also to the part about that why I took them way too seriously. Not only did they broke Irene's heart, like I was even said before, they also took what was left part of me and Irene from the inside that did not belong to them. It also belonged to me that time, that Irene and I should have been as a couple that time in 2021, who could have saved me that time from that Soraya relationship.
And also, guys, I got something to tell you.
I'm not done with this part. It
Sorry.
it's it also the part is that I sold Irene out. Not only I sold her out, she sold me out as well over the truth about what happened as well. But not less, things between me with Irene was starting to resolve. And during my other wrongdoings in October 2023, I got mad because of a one time well because of a one thing that was holding me back for 2 years, that was very hard to let go because of everything else I believed in, what I stood for, and everything else was so important, and not because of simping, but also so important I had back then. But not less, Irene and I were on good terms that time, this month, and also my other wrongdoings is that what I did also, that time being of what I was doing at the time. I also let Diego and others down by turning against Fion instead of keeping our mouth shut about it, and then I got involved in that situation between Scarlet and Fion that time, by to the point that the middle finger picture out of her where she got flipped off by me with a middle finger while I was in my Jedi tunic, which is my Jedi costume that time, and also to the point that that well, the mistake I had committed that time. It turns out that I made a mistake that time against Fionn by sticking up a middle finger at her when while during the Scarlet and Fionn situation that time. And also, I also even took the users way too seriously, and in the past who were also even dead topics back then, which is you guys already know who it is before 63 Josh K, Angadafa, and Stephen Nguyen. The reason why I took them way too seriously because I know how much we all dislike them for what they had done to all of us, including to Irene, who has been still my bestie, I have known for a long time, since almost 4 years. And then I realized that the part of the things I thought I was gonna find a way to change things around. I just wish I can go back in time to alternate the timeline to the point where Irene and I can be a couple. But then I realized what Irene was saying is true at the time. She had to quit online dating to a certain degree of what happened with Josh, Anga, and Steven, which is I understand it that she's trying to do what's best for herself, so she doesn't go through the same pain again. I wish I could try everything else to change this around, but okay, hang on.
Well, let me tell you guys. Here's to admit the wrongdoings for what I done. Well, one, yes, I admit it for my wrongdoings. I took way too far my ex boyfriends, such as Luke Winston, Dion Patterson, Jeremy Payer, and Kayla Fox the Stalker. I am so sorry for what I done. I just got uncomfortable and I was not happy with these guys. And I'm so sorry for I took too far on Luke Dion because I try to teach Luke Dion a lesson for not treat me like a slave from the past. And and I try to teach Jeremy a lesson for being a pedophile towards the minor. I'm not going to mention her name. No way. I also admitted that I took way too far on Kayla Fox, all because I tried to teach him a lesson for stalking me, my sister, and my best friend Rachel at Leo. So I am so sorry for what I did.
And also, I was about to continue saying this if what I was about to able to say.
So as for
And
now, I will move on from for these guys.
And as for me, what I'm about to say, well, during that time of my other wrongdoings, I took too far on Stephen Nguyen and Anga Jaffa and Josh because the time when what after what they had done to Irene, Maddie, Taylor, Rakia, and and Kim, who used to be around back then, but then turns out Kim Chan's already long gone to due to what she has done, and also to the point that the part that the part is that I remembered that time that Kelly was also harassed by Angadafa as well back then. And the reason why I took them way too seriously because I know how much I couldn't stand up seeing everyone else in pain who I cared because of the people who I like, who I cared that need their help, but then I had become something that Josh, Anga, and Steven feared. I became for what I became something what they feared at most, and then I realized the fact from Colin and Star Jesus, Alexander, Irene, and everyone else they said is true that they are history meant to be forgotten and meant to be moved on because due to there were dead topics. I could have accepted it, the fact that they were dead topics. The reason why I took them way too seriously one time because because of how much I cared about Irene, Maddie, Kelly, and everyone else who has been knowing me very well over the years that time, and since I have known them very well that time. But then I realized the things I did back then was wrong and selfish at the time, and I just I just want to find a way to 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 avenge Irene and everyone else for the pain they went through, and I was tired of seeing Irene being heartbroken that she did not deserve because of everything else I believed in back then because Irene was been one of the hugest parts of my life ever since she was been important to me as my bestie for years, ever since the good times she and I had back then. And because of a one thing that, because ever since she and I had good times together over the years, and I couldn't stop caring about her, and I know how much I wanted to protect her every day because of a one thing I couldn't stand seeing. If I haven't been there for Irene and it being there for her and everything else I did for her back then as besties and the good times I had. And I know that sometimes I could be a bit of a simp, especially the part I had a crush on her back then. But then I realized the fact that she still has to quit online dating because of a due to the one thing that had happened. And although I'm not having Irene as my girlfriend at that time being again because I rather accepted Irene staying single because because I know that she always has that fear, the fact that she will get cheated on again when she'll never get cheated on again because because Irene is a special person who I always known for a long time. And I just wish I could go back in time to find a way to change the past and go back to the part where Irene and I become a couple instead of Steven, to the point Irene and I can be a good couple together over the years where she and I can have a healthy relationship to the point where she won't get cheated on. So I become the next Josh, Anga, and Steven. But turns out it was too late because she's been cheated on 3 times, not only 3 times, but also 5 times I have discovered after those years because of what Josh, Anga, and Steven has done. And my other wrongdoings of what I did this part of the year was very rude and wrong what I did. Scarlett and I got involved into a situation between us and Fionn to the point we turned against on Fionn and to the part that by traumatizing her and I regret
Yeah.
the fact that I gave her the middle finger that Scarlett and I worked on because I couldn't stand seeing Fionn giving us an attitude at the time. I realized that, and I know that she has a bit of an anger issue sometimes, and we all go through anger issues that we all not perfect. And and the part I want to admit the fact of what I did that time past days ago, kind of a bit weird. I also had a bit of the crush on Fionn, but by flirted with her a bit, which is that was kind of very bit kind of weird and very uncomfortable. So I decided to leave out a sincere apology to everyone and her. But then, and after times later,
And
the whole thing got turned into an escalation. And and then at the time being got mad at Fionn at the time, but then got into a bad point. Now that the time being, I lost Fionn as my bestie. Well, my 11th bestie. I also lost Maurice. I lost Diego because because Diego and I have known each other and since over the years since he and I treated each other like brothers, not only like brothers, an online friend, an online brother, but an online uncle of Madeline, and also a father of DJ, Brandon, Dylan, and George, of Vera, Arabella, Alayla, and the adopted parents of Giselle, Nancy, Fred, Waffles Thompson, and Emily Ellison. But also to the point that also the godparents of Andrew's kids. But then I realized the part over the years I was doing was not right at the time by taking the dad topics way too seriously, who are meant to be forgotten and ignored and moved
yes,
on from.
exactly. And I am so sorry for exposing Fionn.
And
And
I am sincere sorry to Fionn for the way how I gave her the middle finger and calling her very rude names at the time. Fionn does not deserve it. The reason why we're the blame for this because of the mistake we made. I just wish that I can find a way to change this around. But what I have done back there was wrong.
and I am so sorry that I removed Palin and the others from my group chat during
And I
that during that fighting eh, fighting online and everything. I spent the night and all day reflecting my actions. I'm very, very sorry, guys.
And I would also want to share the most part about why did I simp on Irene too much, and then in the past, before when the time she and I stopped talking, even before she and I reconnected each other again after almost a year, because ever since that the time of what I said before, because the time being when I took the dad topics way too seriously, and in the past because of the time of what Steven and Anga has done, that time they broke Irene's heart. Irene did not deserve to go through any of that pain. She deserved better, and I know how much I loved her as my bestie a lot that time because of the one thing she does for me, and that everything else I do for her. Ever since I know how much I've always been there for her, protecting her, and everything else I had back then. And over the years that time, I couldn't stop thinking about Irene that time because she was been one of the hugest parts of my life ever since she and I had good times in back in over the years since 2020, 2021, and 2022. Ever since she, along with Lahar, Matthew, Cyan, Scarlet, and others, saved me from Angadetha's manipulation on his Star Soraya account back in March 2022, which was 2 years ago. The reason why they saved me because I know how much I couldn't stand seeing them being in pain and everything else. I'm tired of losing, and I did not want to lose Irene again because Irene is the most important person I have known in my life. Because although I'm not simping on her again because of Gian and I reconnected it together and made each other up or made up for each other to fix things up and change things around. So
And also, I am so sorry for I made Marlena angry by making a bad video out of her. The video called Grantilda throw the eggs at the Marlena's house slash grounded and then made Marlena angry and treating Juan like a slave and causing my two studios into toxic because of my behavior and Darius's behavior. We're very sorry.
I know that those people should be meant to be ignored and move on. But the reason why we kept taking them way too much afar because of they had done in the past over the past years was wrong, unforgivable, and that was never been forgotten because of the one thing that Jeremy Payer had committed it, that Mandy supported in his actions, and also to the point that Luke, Dion, KY Fox has done back then due to what they had did to Scarlett that time years ago. Well, years before I became Scarlett's boyfriend that time.
And we're deeply sorry for adding Luke, Winston, Dion Patterson, Jeremy Payer, and Kyle Fox to be in the villains on my series. It made them upset and really angry. And I just reflecting my actions and I feeling guilty for what I did. And I am so sorry for I lied to you all about unfriending Jeremy Payer on Facebook and Nintendo Switch stuff. I all because some of my friends that some of my friends on Discord, which I'm not going to mention their name, requesting me to take Jeremy Payer down. So, but I did. I wish I I did decline their request, but it was too late.
And also to the other part about it. I used to be simping on her that time, but not too much because but I stopped doing it because I know this was getting too much and it has to end for good.
And also, ladies and gentlemen, uh, Darius and I are very, very, very so sorry for what we did, acting childish and make up excuses. Yes, we admit it.
Yeah, and Irene, if you're also even seeing this, I'm sorry for everything, especially to the part that I simped on you and in the past that time, especially to the part I took the ex-boyfriends way too seriously and in the past. I just couldn't stand seeing you being heartbroken for everything else they had done that was never been wiped away by one selfless act. With the way
And
they had taken what was part of us and had shown no remorse for what they did. I just wish that at the time being that we go back in time to find a way to alternate the timeline long ago. But turns out it was too late because of a one thing. So although I'll promise that I will move on from your ex-boyfriends and not take them way too seriously. The reason why I cannot feature you in my videos way too much at the time being because I don't want it to be the same thing that had happened over again because of the promise I am keeping that time because I'm trusting you, Scarlett, and everyone else I cared for. Even
and,
Kelly, Maddie, Up, and others because this is not a joke that time. This is very serious to you all. So
and also, guys, I am so sorry for acting childish, making up excuses, and faking my depression, all because my actions. And I explained to my dad and my sister about my behavior recently, and they sit down with me and have a long talk with them, and my sister told me to I should never act like this, and I'm sorry I keep up make up excuses towards Fion, my ex-boyfriend Andrew, and everyone else, and I'm very, very sorry for take way too far a PFD guy, and
because he might be a troll or something might be meant to be ignored.
and as for now, I'm gonna move on from PFD and ignore him.
And also as for me, I'm also going to move on from Angadatha, Stephen Nguyen, 63 Josh K, and the other dead topic users who are not around in the internet anymore by closing their accounts or abandoned their channels, leaving out with archive videos and whatever. If pedophiles, criminals, and users are out there at the time, they were also couldn't be ignored for one time because of the one thing that Green Demon Alex, Koronic 999, and others said before. Because of what they said was true. And sometimes they're also yes, I'm okay, Magic. It's just admitting of our wrongdoings for the things we did back then, along with recently for what happened. So
And also, I am so sorry for for taking way too far on anti StreamYard army users. I just not happy and got angry with anti StreamYard user for getting to my stream videos.
Magpies, is it okay if I can at least tell you for at least for one thing about why did I take the dead topics way too seriously and in the past? Because ever since of what they had done back then was never been wiped away by one selfless act. They have taken so many lives, have shown no remorse. I just wish at the time being I wish I could seen the light long ago.
And
And,
as for you, Juan, I am so sorry for dragging you into a drama and ruin my studios and entertainment chat for everybody. Because I know you got mad and upset everything. But as for now, I will redeem myself, including my studios, and I will replace other users to my fictional OC characters as a villain. Not the
but not
user,
not
as a
like
villain.
users like Luke, Dion, or are there any users who are very bad news?
And as for now, I will move on my ex boyfriends, including Jeremy Payer and Kira Fox.
And also, and I'm sure many of you are seeing this, but since I regretted for taking the dead topics way too seriously, yeah, I understand, Alex. The reason why I called her over here for at least a moment about it to explain to her about the whole thing, and thank you, I appreciated that you that the time being. Ever since all the things that I did back then at the time being was wrong, ever since I wanted revenge for the people who went through a lot of suffering, pain, and a lot of things every day for what they went through, for what they went through from other bad from bad people online who caused enough damage that time. I thought I was going to defend Jacob or his girlfriend along with Matthew and and Electrify and others, and even Irene for what happened that time. And I thought getting revenge on Engadefa, Stephen Nguyen was the way to bring back what was part of me and Irene from the inside that did not belong to them. And then I realized that I took them way too seriously. It was too much, and I couldn't listen to Colin and Star Jesus, Ozzy, and even others for not listening to them for and not listening to the fact that Stephen Nguyen and Engin Dafa needs to be ignored and move on since they were dead topics that time. And then I realized that the whole thing was a very bad thing to do. And if I haven't explained the whole truth about what's been going on with me for 2 years, that was hard to let go because of a one selfless act they had done. Well, what was I supposed to do? Let them get away for everything they had done? I couldn't let that happen because of everything else for the people I cared, the people who I like, and everyone else who I cared about. But not everyone else is perfect and sort of things. But I was just glad that the time being that Irene decided to do the right decision to quit online dating for a while because because I understand that she doesn't want to get cheated on again from the same pain she went through from last time. Because ever since she's been part of my life ever since or for years at the time, because she was been one of the hugest parts of my life at the time. Although though she and I are not a couple this year, because if she and I were, and then she and I would have a healthy relationship. But turns out it's not happening, because the reason why it's not happening anymore because I don't think I will ever will be to become Irene's boyfriend, because not when she quit online dating, because I don't want this whole thing to happen again. Like I cannot not continue simping on Irene. I cannot not being obsessed with her. I cannot dating her. Like it's going to be way too risky, and everything else will be way too risky to do. So I sometimes talk with Irene sometimes, but not a bit much because I don't want to simp on her or being obsessed with her because I don't need to care for everyone else like Scarlet Lovelock, who's currently with me in this stream, but also
Yeah.
Leon, Marlena, and Elijah, Magic, Ozzy, Kelly, Maddie, Alexander, Star Jesus, Matthew the Epic Blue Animator 2006, AJ, and Adrian, and Emily, and everyone else who I cared about. But sometimes if you're not afraid of change, there's always going to be around that time to change things around. But it's not too late to change things around because there's still time. And the reason why I decided to admit my wrongdoings for the things I have done because it was time to doing it, what needs to be done, because not only for everyone, but also for Irene as well. So since I seen the forgiveness for me at the time, well, since it's starting to get normal at the time,
And
thank
also,
thank you. I just don't know what to say.
and also, I am so sorry for letting my some of my friends to go after PFD guy for nonstop 24/7. All because a PFD just did this to me multiple times, and then taking way too far on him is a bad idea. And I mostly regret it for my actions and dragging my former friend Juan into the drama against PFD and Fion. And PFD, also known as Lucky Brother Production 2023, if you've seen this, I deeply apologize to letting my friends and the others to go after you for multiple times. And I mostly regret it, as I know you want a attention, and as for now, I'll just leave you alone.
If you promise to leave us alone at the time, and then we'll leave you alone as well. I know you sometimes you cannot keep the promises at the time, but I know it can be hard, but it's not too late to change things around though. But not less I explain the whole thing. Why am I admitting my wrongdoings into the part why I take the death topics way too seriously and in the past? Because I know how much I couldn't stand seeing the people being in hurt for one thing what they went through. But not less I stopped taking them way too seriously. So it was time for everyone to bring back the Darius Frederick Leonard Rosevier that
And
everyone else knows who's been part of everyone else's lives, including my girlfriend Scarlett, and of course of my number one reunited bestie is Irene. So it was time for me to bring back the Darius Frederick Leonard Rosevier back.
and my friendship too.
Yeah, and then the friendship with Fionn and mostly others. Although I'll leave Fionn be for at least a while until things get sorted out.
And I'll
Or
leave Juan alone until things turns get better.
yeah, but at
And
least I'm trying not to get involved in too much drama. But it's just a lot of missions I got involved over the years that people need their help, has to be rescued and need to be stand up for. If I haven't stand up for the people I cared, like Irene, Maddie, Kelly, Jacob, Adrian, Emily, Molly, and Ashley, and also even Kawaii, Wendy, the Escastria girl, YT, Samfiska, and Alexander, Green Demon Alex, and Colin, AJ, Stupa, and who else? Even other people who I cared about who need everyone else to help. So I just wish that I could find a way to go back in time to find a way to change things around, to find a way to change things around. But turns out we can't live in the past because it's not the way what you can do at the time.
And also, I am so sorry for I betraying some of my friends, including Diego, Fionn Lim, Cutie Pie Dolly, also known as Elena, my uh, including Juan, Juan, and including the others,
And
including Palin, Dry Thrones, and everyone else.
yeah, and as for me, I also apologize to my man Diego, Maurice, my bestie Irene, and Fionn Lim, and Cody Dolly, and I just don't know how to pronounce her name right. And
Inc- in- including Juan Carlos Bal- Balza.
yeah, and also even to AJ and Colin and everything and everyone else for not listening what they have to say for me at the time, what they're trying to do what's best for me at the time. So I really regretted it for things I have done back then, especially to the point I took down Stephen Nguyen, Josh, known as 63 Josh K, and Engadefa way too seriously as too much, and his Star Soraya accounts way too far. Because I couldn't stand seeing Irene, SB, Maddie, and even others going through a lot of pain because of the one thing. So, but not less I decided to move on and stop taking them way too seriously. To be 100% honest with you all, I am going to stop taking them way too seriously
Es-
and move on from them.
Especially learn to handle the jokes and learn to handle the hate and criticism.
And accept the fact that when people quit online dating because due to a certain degree of catfish, getting cheated on or getting molested by some like adult or a minor
And,
who might be at an age of 17 or age of 16, which is that could be lead to like CP and things that could lead to. Yeah.
and
It
learn to
just
handle people leaving the studios and group chats and many more.
and learned how to handle losing subs, whatever if you did something was wrong. Well, whatever we did something was wrong.
And learn to handle being blocked.
Yeah.
And Juan Carlos Belza, if you've seen this, I just want to owe you apologies for not listening to you and drag you into a drama. And I know I should listen to you or my former friends, but I blew it. I just mostly regretted reflecting my actions and dragging Marlena into a drama. And I didn't mean to do that to you, Marlena, Oscar, and everyone else who I know.
And also to the part of my utter wrongdoing of what I did back in during in March 2021 was wrong as well. During in Tristan Sterling's his utter live stream when I appeared in, I'm also gotten Francisco hate by by playing the most one of the most copyrighted rock and roll bands from the 1980s. Was the song is made by the most greatest band of it was played back then. It was called Hell's Bells by ACDC. Then got Tristan's live stream taken down to a copyright, and then they committed that type of mistake. I should have not put on that friggin' song by pressuring him to put on that song for it. But then I regretted it for what I did. So I regretted it for the way I let Charlie along with Tristan down. So that's what I need to about to say about this.
And also, we are so sorry for what we've done for a long time and everything. As I know, Juan just no longer talked to me because of my behavior and Darius's behavior by hurting Vion Lynn's feelings and traumatized her and everything.
And I just couldn't believe I almost became the next Angadefa when he hurt Soapy Cat's feelings and Kelly's feelings and Maddie's feelings back there 3 years ago, which is I almost became him, which is I regretted it that time. But not less, I decide to accept the fact that Irene quits online dating for the time being for her safety reasons, and learn the fact to handle criticism and not to handle. I mean, like to learn to handle criticism for taking the dead topics way too seriously that was meant to be ignored and moved on and be
And
done. I just couldn't let that nightmare become a reality ever since of what they had taken by one selfless act. But not less I'm moving on from them at the time being because I'm doing what needs to be done for Colin, for AJ, for Matthew, Alexander, and even everyone else who I cared about.
and and also I deeply apologize for I make a fake account to take PFD, Luke Winston, DL Patterson, and Jeremy down on social media. As I know, fake accounts is a stupid idea and uncalled for.
Because it can also lead to sock puppet makings like becoming James Parker and Tabor Leslie, although Tabor Leslie is not around that time because she hasn't been uploaded videos for months since she quitted the Beyond community to a certain degree about what she has done over the years that time after 2019 for what she has done to Soapy Cat and the other victims that time. So yeah, I think Tabor Leslie might be a dad topic or something. I'm not quite so sure about it.
And and I almost and like Patrick even thought I don't care about him anymore. All because of his behavior, even thought I'm moving on from Patrick. And 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 I'm very, very sorry for trying to avoid my the actions.
So what we're saying to you all is that it's not too late to change things around is because there's other ways to change things around and to redeem yourself from the dark path you're in and sort of things. If Jonathan Amaya was here, he could have found a way to help me out and found a way how to change things around for me. And if even Vittorio the Beyonder 2003 was even around as well, he could have also come talk to me and help me out to find a way to change things around and getting me how to learn to handle criticism and hate and sort of things that's going on, especially the part that telling me not to take the debt topics way too seriously. It feels like I'm almost letting Vittorio down. I have known Vittorio the Beyonder 2003 for a long time, since 5 years ago, since 2019, since New Year's Day of 2019 when I first met him. He was the best Go animator and the Beyond member I have known, because he and I treated each other like brothers, because not only my best friend, but also my bro as well. Ever since I used to help him and others, whatever they go through, a lot of things that's happened, especially when he and I learned the truth about what happened in 2019 after 2018, about what happened with the other dead topic guy who created sock puppets accounts and quit and made T-Bone quit his channel that time in 2018 on 4th of July by pressuring him and other things. But I was glad that T-Bone returned at the time, until he left the Vion community, even the Goiame community, to a certain degree of things going on.
And also, I am so sorry for I admitted that I tried to avoid everything, including get away from my actions by using lame excuses. I am so sorry, everyone, for what I did.
And I'm sincere sorry to you all. 100% sincere sorry to you, Irene, and everyone else who I cared about, for the way how I let it and all of you down. Believe me, to you all, I never stopped caring for you all every day, since you guys been part of my lives every day, because the Darius Rosenberg you know is still there, and so it was not too late to change things around. Yeah, thanks, AC Tie Crossing. When I get back to my mom's, I'll check it out at the time being when I'm back at my mom's. So I have a Discord account, which is my fifth account on my main tablet. So I'm using a laptop currently right now, since I'm still with my father and my grandmother at that time. But don't worry, when I get back to my mom's, I will check it out on Discord when I get back to my mom's. So that way I'll accept a friend request from you all. So that way we get to see each other again.
And as for now, guys, I will try my best. I mean, Darius and I will try our best to to improve our behavior and our redemption.
Yeah, I agree with what my girlfriend says.
So I will leave Theon Lim, Juan, Carlos, Ellis, and the others alone until we will ready to talk it out as when things gets better.
And as for me, well, I'm gonna leave Diego and Maurice and Fionn and the other people that Scarlett mentioned alone for a while, because it's going to take a while at the time being to recover. So it's going to take a matter of time. So yeah, so it's just a matter of time.
And and as for my ex Andrew, for I hurt him back in November 18th. Andrew, also known as Troll Slayer 2001, if you're watching this, I am deeply, deeply so sorry for I broke your heart by leaving you. All because my mom, my sister, and my dad was right about it because I couldn't afford to fly up to see you in Minnesota because the flight thing is way too expensive to see you, and it's cost stressing me, including my family, out over the money, including the Minnesota. And I try to protect you, including our friendship, all because of some of my neighbors, including you, including my mom. Never thought I still love my mom. And as for now, and I will try to make it up to you and everything. And and as for Juan and Juan Carlos Bellas, if you've seen this, I'm gonna apologize to you, but not gonna
But
repeat
you're
it
the
again.
sincere, but the sincere.
I apologize for treating you like a slave for a long time. And I understand you blocked me because of my behavior and Darius's behavior and hurting Fion's feelings. As and I will accept the fact and I will accept the fact I everything and I will learn handle the block and the hate. And I hope you accept my apology. If not, it's fine. You can move on from me, Juan, and I'll leave you alone till everything's okay. And as for now, ladies and gentlemen, it's our redemption. Me and Darius will try our best to improve our behavior, move on from the dead topics, and learn to handle the hate and accept the facts. People quitting beyond community, my series, etc. Right, Darius, honey?
Right, and not only just this, the part also to accept the fact that when someone quits online dating because of due to a certain degree of getting catfished, getting cheated on, or getting end up attacked by some child predators. So yeah, that's why I'm gonna have to accept it at that time.
And I will move on from Jeremy Payer and his girlfriend Mandy and keep them on the blocking list. Even thought Jeremy Payer is still a pedophile, but again, I will leave Fionn Lamb, Dry Thrones, Yusuf, Kitty, uh, not Cutie, Cutie Pie, Dolly, and the others alone. And not only that, I will replace the 4 users at, into my OC as a villains for my next series and make my series and my studios get it right instead of become toxic.
Because we don't want to be the other dead topic users who became toxic in the past before they were dead topics.
And as for now, I will never ever make a fake account ever again. And I'll never take way too seriously on other users, including my ex-boyfriends, ever again. I promise you all.
And as for everyone else, I might be able to say, I promise to you all, I'm not going to take the dead topics such as Stephen Nguyen, 63 Josh K, and Defa ever again, and not asking Irene to be my girlfriend that time ever again because not when she quitted online dating due to what happened in the past when she got cheated on 5 times in a row over the years. So although Irene and I are going to be still besties at the time, a matter of what, just long as I don't simp on her by featuring her too much in there because I can't featuring Irene too much in there because I still need to feature others too. So yeah, that's what
And
I need to do.
and that's for you guys. I will not gonna force Fionn Lim, Juan Carlos, Belza to get back on my series because I respect their decision and I apologize for that, for everything.
Yeah,
And I deeply apologize to Beyonder Dakota, also known. I'm not gonna dox
her real life name. Yeah,
her real life name. No way. I deeply apologize for I let my friends to go after you, including your friends.
and the other Dakota, if you're seeing this, I'm sorry for the way I called you out too much because the reason why I called you out too much it was because of the one thing that you didn't understand. I did not realize the fact that you did not understand about the age consent. Here's the thing: 7 year gap's okay, but the 20-year old can date the 27-year old. But the problem is that when you're in your 20s, if you date a minor who is in their teens, like at age of 16 or age of 17 or age of 15 or age of 14, depending on those year gaps that contains adults to minors, that is a bad thing. So what I'm telling you is true. It is a bad idea. So it is a bad idea, but the 5 year gap could be also bad if you date a minor who is also like a teenager. It is sound like a bad idea. So what I'm saying is true.
So yeah, that's what I need to tell you about.
Thanks, Marlena. I appreciate it.
And and we're not going to take way too far on anyone, and we won't do that anymore, especially the behaviors that we did as well.
Yeah. And I promised it to everyone that I'll move on from the dead topic users and ignore the dead topic users' birthdays and the anniversaries of the relationships, although I might have a hard time to go through that. But at least I'm still learning how to get through there by ignoring that.
And as for now, we will improve our behavior and clean up our acts.
Yeah,
And we're very sorry for being mean to Fionn and cause the drama against her. And I know some people are trying to be honest and everything,
yeah. I agree with Scarlett says. They were just trying to be honest in everything else they say.
and causing Google Chat and Messenger to into drama wars during that time.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. And as for now, I will try to get some help and everything.
But don't worry to you all. When I get help, like counseling and things, it's gonna take time and sort of things. Like I have school counselors at my school I always talk with, see if I can set up counseling there. But don't worry, the tie crossing. I'm also gonna get counseling that time, which is a school counselor to talk with that time until things will get back to normal. But don't worry, I promise to you, to Marlena and Aaron and Elijah, Magic, and everyone else that I won't be able to taking the dad topic users ever again because I'm never ever gonna take the dad topic users ever again by taking them way too seriously because I'm gonna move on from them and ignore them for everything else they had done.
And I will learn to accept the fact and learn how to and I mean I will learn to handle to be removed from one's group chat and learn handle to being blocked.
Yeah, exactly.
And also I forgot to tell you. Yes, I admit it. I I admitted that I judged people who has been through, especially people has had a financial problems and everything. And I'm sorry for making fun of people who has a financial problems and everything.
Because it's not funny, it's cruel, and it's not very fun.
And I should not judge people until I walk on their shoes.
Yeah.
And as for now, I will not gonna judge people that way anymore.
So, are there any questions you like to ask for me and for Scarlet?
Or you, or give us a nice device, please, and thank you. We very appreciate it.
Yeah, I believe so. Tie crossing. Yeah, I believe so. If there was other wrongdoings that I'll admit, yeah, takes a matter of time to figure.
And as for now, when I get back from Q-Day's break, I will update for my series and my studios to make it right,
To change
better.
things around, to add OC villains, like the fictional villains, and with the OC villains.
And without the dramas.
Yeah, I'm trying not to make my content as way too drama too much. It's just there was a lot of things I investigate throughout the days, along with the years, whatever. When there's a lot of things happening out there with pedophiles, criminal users, and pervert users, and what's worse is child predators that I investigate most of the time. Sometimes it's hard to move on from that type of mission.
and and also apology. But hold on, I have to fix the problems. I have also apology to Car.H and his friends. I am so sorry for causing friendship into broke. I mean, caused the friendship between with me and including you guys torn apart and caused the Bean family to torn apart each other, all because of my behavior recently. And Car.H, if you've seen this, I am very, 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 very sorry for everything. It caused one to no longer speak to me and made Marlena to get angry by making bad video out of her and made everyone uncomfortable because of the cringe video what I did, especially taking way too far on the users and swearing on on your stream, Car.H, and complaining over that the island was full in Animal Crossing. And I'm sorry. I am sorry that you hear me crying, guys.
Hey, it's okay, my yandere. You have me, you have Marlena, you have Ty Crossing, you have NRW, I mean, like NWR 2006 Productions, and we got Magic. We got Super Luigi, the Mario Kart Tour gamer, 2K5. Got Aaron, and got Alex, got Magpies, and even others with us. It's okay. You have me and them. Don't worry, you have us. But don't worry. Hey, look what Marlena said. It says, but you made a good video for me for my birthday. Don't cry, GB. That's what she's saying to you. It's okay, my yandere. It's okay. You have me and Marlena. and even others. Okay, it's okay. We're all not perfect. We go through bad times.
And I also apology message to Beyond and her friends. I am so sorry for I hurt you, including your friends, by causing drama against each other. And Beyond, I'm sorry for I hurt your feelings by traumatizing you. I regret it for what I done to you. As for now, I won't do that anymore. And Juan, like I said, I'm so sorry for not listening to you and everything.
And Fionn, if you're still even seeing this, I'm sincere sorry to you and our friends for the way how I letted you and our friends down by making a picture out of you to the point you got flipped off by me with the middle finger when I gave you the middle finger while I was wearing my Anakin Skywalker outfit that time and became an asshole to you and our friends that time. I realized what I did was wrong and I came to let you know that I sincere apologize to you and our friends for the way I let you down. But don't worry. I'm sure that one day at the time being at the future, when we're ready to work things out together, if you if your decision at the time when at the time being when you decide to forgive me and sort of things at the time and things will work out between us eventually. So but don't worry. Scarlett and I are gonna get counseling and getting some help, okay? But don't
Including
worry.
yours.
But don't worry. We're doing as though we could. Okay?
And Juan, like I said, when the things turns out, I promise. For now, I'll leave you alone, Juan.
And I'm still gonna leave you and Guan and even our friends alone for a while, okay, Fionn? But don't worry, I never stopped caring about you and our friends that time. But what I realized what I did was wrong, and I'll make it up to you and our friends. Oh crap! I'll be back
And,
in a moment.
and Juan, and Oscar, I am so sorry that I abandoned you for my videos and everything. I was I was feeling guilty and feeling upset for what I did. I shouldn't add you in my videos anytime, but I was very nervous to do it. And I apologize you heard me cry, guys. And for now, I will control myself, and will control himself too.
Okay, it appears to be I'm back. It's just appears to be that I had to charge up the laptop so the battery doesn't die on me. Hey, but don't worry, my yandere. You still have me, Marlena, and others. Hey, look. At least you have me, Marlena, and even others. But don't worry, everyone. Scarlett and I are going to go get counseling together and getting help. It's going to take a matter of time.
And I will talk to the elders from the longhouse. And I have to go to women's group to get some help,
Yeah.
especially counseling doctors from the office who friends with my mom.
Yeah.
And I apologize everything again.
And I'm sincere apologize to everyone else for the way I let them down for everything. Especially the part I took the dad topics way too seriously and in the past. Don't worry, Marlena. I'm sure we will. It's going to take some matter of time, and it's going to take a matter of time.
Agreed. And as long as I won't add anyone too much and I won't treating anyone like a slave ever again. I promise.
And I promise to everyone, I'm not going to simp on Irene again. I'm not going to take the dad topics way too seriously, such as those three guys who I mentioned before. I'm not going to be obsessed with Irene because that will count as simping. So no, that won't happen on my watch. So not letting that happen.
We're sorry, guys.
I'm sincere sorry for everything.
And we promise it won't happen again. And as for now, I'm gonna take a break from Animal Crossing game for a while until further notice. And I deeply promise. And I promise I'll control myself. Right, Darius, honey?
Right, my yandere? That's good news. Happy early 18th birthday. Anytime. It's what I can do.
And one more thing before I continue. I will replace the users to OC characters as the villains for my remake series and rebuild my studios without toxic situation.
That's why we're gonna replacing it, so that way we don't have to worry about with the toxic users, like the users that timed without a toxic situation.
And that's that I promise for one, Marlena, Cardage, and everyone. Two, without bad situation. Or should I say without toxic situation. As for now, guys, when I get a chance, I will get some help by talking to my dad, my sister, one of my aunties, my grandaunt, and including the elders from the longhouse. And I will go to the band office to get the counseling doctors to get some help. Right, Darius?
Right, my yandere.
And I will handle to being called out and learn handle hate, learn handle criticism and everything. Right, Darius?
Right.
Same as for Darius.
Yeah, same thing goes for me too.
I also apologize for blocking people to avoid to getting called out or anything. Aside that proves I won't handle anything. But for now, I will handle it and approve myself and clean up my act. Right, Darius?
Right, my yandere.
So that's all what would we say? That's all would we say, ladies and gentlemen. And when I get back on StreamYard videos from a few days break, we'll discuss it about my better remake videos and everything. That's all I'm saying. This is us signing off.
And peace to you all.
And remember, ladies and gentlemen, remember what we said, guys. That's what we say. This is us signing off. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.